Hey, welcome back to Mr. Mig's Classroom. Today we're going to talk about mortgage rates and how those can affect you and why I think you should buy a home now if you're ready to do so. One of the things I want us to look at is the rate versus the cost. So I was talking to a friend not too long ago and he said to me, hey, Mr. Mig, I think that homes are on the same level they were in 2007. Home prices are on the same level they were in 2007 when the bubble burst and the prices dropped almost in half. And this was almost across the board in the country. And he's like, look, studies show that home prices are on the rise again and they're pretty much at the same price as 2007. Should I wait to buy now? That's what he said to me. And I say, you know what? If I were ready to, I would buy a home now, even if I knew for a fact that the home price would be cut by 40% in 3 years. Honestly, even if I knew for a fact that 3 years from now, that if I bought a home, say for $250,000, that it was going to be, that it was going to lose value, and let's just say it was going to go down to $200,000. I knew for a fact that I could buy this home for $250,000 right now, and I know, say it's going to go down to $200,000 in 3 years. I would still buy it now, and here's why. Mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are at I'm not going to say an all-time low because they're not anymore. About a year ago, they were at an all-time low. You could get a 30-year fixed rate around 3.5%, somewhere around there, depends on your credit score and everything. Right now, they're hovering around 4.32%. Still a very good rate. Let's look at this historically for a second. When we compare this to right now, I know this is small typing, but right now, 3.2 or 4.32%. 2006, so 11 years ago, 6.4%. But when we go back to the 90s, 1990, the average rate for a mortgage was 10.13%. Then in the 80s, it was huge. And this isn't even including points. I'm not going to get into points right now. That'll be a different video. I'll talk about them if you're interested. But just looking at the rate, it was 6.04 in 1982. The points were also higher then. 2 points here, half a point now. So this is why I would buy a home right now. As long as I knew I was going to stay in that home for at least 5 years, no question, I would buy a home right now, even if I knew for a fact the price of the home was going to go down. I would still buy one right now. So let's look and see why. Why do I say this crazy stuff that I would buy a home now? And I recommend that you buy a home now if you are ready to. If you know you're going to stay in it for at least 5 years. So if you know you're going to move in 2 years, don't buy. But if you know you're going to stay in it for at least 5 years, I go ahead and buy right now. Lock in at a fixed rate. Really, it's recommended to do a 15-year, but let's just look at 30-year because those tend to be the most common. A 30-year fixed rate. If you get a $250,000 home, say you put 10% down, $25,000 down, so meaning you're financing $225,000 of that home, and you get it at 4.32%, the total interest you'll end up paying over 30 years is going to be $176,000. Let me say that again, $176,000 in interest. If you think that sounds like a lot, just for the interest, not the house, just for the interest. But if you think that sounds like a lot, let's look at some of the other rates. If you go to 6.4%, you're looking at another $100,000 in interest over that. $281,000 just in interest. You're not even paying for the home here, folks. Just for the interest, just for being able to borrow that money. That's it. We're not even talking about the cost of the home itself. We're not talking about paying back that $250,000. This is just the interest to be able to get that $250,000. That's it. But let's say you were at 1990 rates at 10.13, we're looking at $490,000, nearly $500,000 in interest. Not for the home, just in interest payments. But if you were unlucky enough to say they go up to something like this, to 16% interest like they were in 1982. So again, this is realistic. I'm not making this up. This is what interest rates really were in the early 80s, late 70s. You would pay nearly $1 million, $886,000, so just shy of $1 million in interest payments on your $250,000 home. So interest rates are going to go up. Though I have heard no one argue the matter. They are already starting to rise. Last year they were in the mid 3s. Now they're already near the mid 4s. They're going to continue going up. How high? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you exactly how high, but I know they're going to go up. So let's just take this 1990 number, 10% interest. Let's assume that they're going to go up that high. I think definitely you'd be a crazy person to think they're not at least going to go back to the 2000s numbers of somewhere around 6.5. I don't think the 16% numbers, though it does sound crazy, it's happened before, it could happen again, but let's just take the 10% numbers. Let's say you buy that $250,000 home now, right now, and you know it's going to go down. You think, hey, I don't know, I think this is going to go down in price. Whatever, buy it now, but here's why, because let's say you buy it now, your total amount that you're going to pay in interest again is going to be $176,000. The total amount you'll end up paying for that home in total, so including the cost of the home and then the interest, will be $401,800. So that'd be the total price you'd pay. Now let's say you decide, I think housing prices are too high right now. I want to wait a couple of years and let them bottom out again like they did in 08. This way I can get a deal. Well, let's say that interest rates go up. They're going to go up. I don't know how high, but they're going to go up, folks. So let's say they go up to the 1990 numbers. Let's forget about the 1980 numbers. Let's just say the 1990 numbers of 10%. Then what you're going to end up paying, and let's say the house price does go down. So let's say the price of the home rockets down all the way down to $200,000. So you think you got a deal because you bought that home at $200,000 instead of $250,000. You're like, yes, got on $250,000. I just saved $50,000. Guess what? The bank's got you, because you're going to end up paying now for a total of that home, even though you paid less for the home itself, including in the interest. Now, interest and home put together, not just interest. Interest and home put together, you're going to end up paying $574,900. $574,900. So basically $575,000 if you wait a couple of years and the price. I don't know if the interest rates are going to go that high, but they could. They've been there before. It's possible. So if you wait a couple of years thinking that you'll save a few bucks because the price of the homes might dip down again, and they might, it's possible, but interest rates will go up. So if you wait and interest rates go up, you'll end up paying more, a lot more, $175,000 more because of interest rates. So this is why I say, if you know you're going to be in that area, if you know you're going to stay in the home for at least 5 years, buy now. Don't wait. Yes, there might be a bubble. There may be. I think it's very possible. Yeah, the statistics show that home prices are as high as they were in 2006, 2007, or nearly as high. So it's possible they'll bottom out again. But interest rates are at an all-time low. No one's arguing this. No experts are saying that they're going to go lower. They were lower last year. You should have locked in. I wish I would have. This is a good time to lock in. Get a fixed, not an arm. I'll talk about the difference in a different video. Hey, thanks for coming to Mr. Mig's Classroom. Subscribe to my videos on my channel. Thanks for watching Mr. Mig. Have a great day.